your weekly roundup of news from around the haunt industry. Welcome to the show. I'm Philip. On the HAN show, we bring you the haunt news, information, and education you need to prepare for Halloween. On Tuesdays, we bring you a roundup of news from haunts worldwide. Read more about these stories and so much more in our free weekly newsletter. Subscribe at the link in the show notes. And as always, for the news roundup, I'm passing it off to Daryl.
First off, this message from Philip Hernandez, publisher of the Haunted Attraction Network. The annual Tricks, Treats, and Trends report from Mars confirmed trends we've been tracking in the haunt industry. The season is stretching, there is real demand for unique Halloween food, and discovery has moved to social. While this was in the context of Halloween candy, these are takeaways that haunts can use. First, season creep. We told you last week that Halloween starts in 3 weeks. Mars says consumers agree. 57% of US adults now consider Halloween a full season, and 30% of Gen Z already celebrates Summerween. If your haunt isn't selling tickets or at the bare minimum promoting your 2026 season, you're behind. Guests are ready to buy Halloween in July. Sell it to them. On food, the demand is real, but the key is unique. 71% of adults want sensory or textural experiences, and 74% of Gen Z seek out seasonal flavors, colors, and shapes. The haunt version of extreme flavor is not a hotter wing. It's a themed, named, October-only item, the kind of food that extends the story, the way ScareHouse Windsor's $125 dinner does. Fewer than 10% of haunts sell food at all, so the bar for standing out is on the floor. I'm sure you've heard about discovery on social, but stay with me because it all connects in a larger way. 53% of Gen Z discovers Halloween on TikTok and 49% on YouTube, but they buy in person. So social is demand generation, and it means having word-of-mouth style content from guests at your attraction. Now, what do guests need to make that content and share it? Time. We've written about why haunts are becoming scream parks. Guests need space to decompress between scares, and the connective tissue extends their stay and their perceived value. It also gives them the moment to pull out a phone, and the moment they capture is the moment that markets you. This week also saw operators investing in exactly that space. ScareHouse is returning to Pittsburgh after 2 seasons and going all in on the Hangout space, movie nights, haunted happy hours, terror tailgates, and themed food with no haunted house at all. SCREAM-A-GEDDON put $2.5 million, the largest capital project in park history, into its Midway. Covered pavilions, 4 food trucks, fire pits, and an expanded beer garden. But don't forget the in-between has to be entertaining. Empty hangout space is just a parking lot. In sadder news, a July 20th fire destroyed 3 of the 5 houses at Field of Horrors in Brunswick, New York. The buildings were uninsured, and owner Dave Molinio is rebuilding anyway, targeting September with steel walls this time. It's the 3rd building setback we've covered this month, and as we said in July, buildings and insurance remain 2 existential threats for independent haunts. Freakling Brothers is also dark for 2026, for a much better reason. Co-owner JT Moliner is directing a horror film produced by J.J. Abrams, and the full lineup returns in 2027. Also this week, HHN Orlando completes its Scare Zone slate with a downtown clown town, putting killer clowns and Terrifier's Art the Clown on one street. Hollywood announced its first original house, Fortnightmares lands on both coasts. Universal Studios Japan announced the first R18 attraction in its event's history. Delusion is returning to the Beckett mansion where it all started in 2011. And we price professional animatronics against retail's $25,000 Balrog. Here's what you need to know this week. In Halloween Horror Night news, Evil Dead Burn is coming to HHN 2026 at Universal Orlando and Universal Studios Hollywood. Universal has announced Evil Dead Burn haunted houses at both of its United States Halloween Horror Night events this fall, tied to New Line Cinema's newly released 6th film in the Evil Dead franchise. For Universal's release, the nightmare grows more and more fierce as guests venture through the haunted house, encountering ferocious deadites around every turn before succumbing to the evil forces themselves. Universal Studio Hollywood's own tagline for the house, The Book of the Dead has been reopened, and now an internal force consumes a family home. Encounter not just the root of evil, but the whole family tree. Follow the links in our show notes to read the full story. Fort Nightmares is coming to HHN 2026 at both Universal Orlando and Hollywood. Halloween Horror Nights is opening a Fort Nightmares Scare Zone in both of its US events for 2026, tied to Epic Games' annual in-game Halloween event of the same name. Guests will encounter the Battle Bus and familiar Fort Nightmares characters, plus HHN exclusive editions. Scott and Philip broke down what this licensing bet actually cost Universal on this week's Green Tagged. Fortnite was the #1 most played console game in the United States in 2025, with more than 100 million monthly players and 650 million lifetime registered players, and its in-game events draw audiences that rival stadium concerts. But a scare zone has none of the queue control a house does, and the tween demographic Fortnite brings is the same one associated with teen takeovers. Dead, Deader, Deadest at HHN Hollywood's first original house in 2026. Universal Studios Hollywood announced Dead, Deader, Deadest, the first original non-IP haunted house for HHN Hollywood 2026. The premise? Ambrotox, a miracle drug that claims to restore the deceased's feature without embalming, backfires inside the DeVille family funeral home and raises a century worth of corpses. The DeVille name is a deliberate callback to 2022's original house, Universal Horror Hotel, and its infamous hotel impresario, Maximilian DeVille. Downtown Clowntown puts Killer Clowns and Art the Clown on the same street at HHN 35. Universal Orlando announced Downtown Clowntown, the fourth and final scare zone for HHN 35, and it does something HHN almost never does. It puts two separately licensed horror IPs in one zone. The Killer Clowns from Outer Space and Terrifier's Art the Clown take over the New York section of Universal Studios Florida, together alongside unnamed other murderous clownsfolk. Neither franchise has a house in 2026. The clowns exist only on this street. The clowns are back in Orlando after a 7-year absence, 2018 zone and the 2019 house. And Art moves to the street after his 2025 Terrifier house won House of the Year. Orlando's zone slate is now complete. Infernal Carnival of Nightmares in Illumination Boulevard, the Sideshow of Decay in the Hollywood area, Fort Nightmares Freaky Fields in Central Park, and Downtown Clowntown in the New York area, plus Street Experience Mel's Die-In, Club Horror, and the Roaming Chainsaw Horde announced July 21st. USJ announces Zanzo, its first R18 age-restricted Halloween Horror Nights attraction. Universal Studios Japan announced Zanzo, or After Image, the first R18 age-restricted attraction in its Halloween Horror Nights 15-year history. Guests 17 and under are barred entirely, and everyone else must consent to a waiver before entering. The premise? A facility that researches nightmares, where guests are psychologically cornered through isolation and confinement in a space where hallucination and reality blur. Zanzo builds on USJ's history of extreme experiments like Hotel Albert, the NDA-required small group experience on the same Stage 18 building, and the retired open-air biohazard experience that sprayed guests with water. The hard 18-plus age gate is the genuine first for the event. A separate ticket from 1,900 yen, about $13, goes on sale July 27th at approximately 9 p.m. JST, official website only, capped inventory, and a new Universal Express Pass 3+1 from 11,800 yen guarantees one Zanzo experience, plus priority for 3 other attractions. It runs on Stage 18 from September 11th through November 8th. HHN 35 Orlando's frequent fear passes are on sale, plus a new 5-house RIP tour. Universal Orlando has put its Halloween Horror Nights 35 multi-night frequent fear passes on sale, and it has added a brand new 5-house RIP tour to the 2026 lineup at a lower entry price than the standard RIP product. The Dead Coconut Club returns to Universal City Walk for HHN 35 with an Alien Invasion overlay. Universal Orlando has confirmed Dead Coconut Club Harvest, the 2026 Halloween Horror Nights overlay of Universal City Walk's Red Coconut Club. The venue transforms into an alien invasion at a fictional Midwest town's 35th annual Harvest Festival, a nod to HHN's 35th anniversary and a tie-in to the alien content elsewhere in the event: invasion, alien abduction, and the returning killer clowns from outer space. Universal Orlando has confirmed 2 returning street experiences for Halloween Horror Nights 35 this fall: Mel's Die-In, Zombies, tagline, Shake, Rattle, and RIP, and Club Horror, tagline, Party Like Your Life Depends on It. Both are in the mid-level programming layer along the walkways between houses. In other theme park news, Universal's Q2, Guess Who Come are spending more, fewer are coming. Universal theme parks grew revenue 2.7% to $2.4 billion in Q2, but segment EBITDA fell 5.1%, the segment's first decline since Epic Universe opened. Orlando attendance began softening in June and has stayed pressured into the third quarter, and management blames weaker consumer sentiment and higher travel costs. Legoland adds Brick or Treat Street at both California and Florida for 2026. Legoland is adding a new attraction called Brick or Treat Street at both Legoland California and Legoland Florida for the 2026 Halloween season. An interactive trick-or-treat walkthrough featuring 6 life-sized Lego monster homes and a new Halloween light trail. Guests knock on the doors of 6 Lego monster houses, each themed to a fan-favorite Lego minifigure. Legoland has designed the experience so guests interact at every door, collect Lego bricks along the way, and help build a giant Halloween creation together at the end of the trail. It joins each resort's returning brick-or-treat lineup of trick-or-treat stations, meet and greets, and shows, and it will also feature a new Halloween interactive light trail with tricks and visual effects layered throughout. Jack-O-Lantern Spectacular moves to Kentucky Kingdom for its 14th year. Kentucky Kingdom in Louisville, Kentucky, is the new home of Jack-O-Lantern Spectacular, the illuminated hand-carved pumpkin trail that runs for its 14th year at the Louisville Amusement Park this fall. Jack-O-Lantern Spectacular joins Pumpkins at Kentucky Kingdom, the park's family-friendly fall festival, for a combined Wednesday through Sunday run October 1st through November 1st of 2026. Jack-O-Lantern Spectacular is produced in partnership with Passion for Pumpkins Incorporated, a multimedia production company with 25 years of experience bringing illuminated pumpkin galleries. The 2026 display will feature more than 5,000 hand-carved pumpkins by local artists and sculptors along one illuminated trail. Pumpkins at Kentucky Kingdom is now in its 5th year, and on the event night that offers more than 30 rides, themed foods and beverage options, and over 1,000 illuminated pumpkins across the park. The Nightmare Before Christmas is getting carved into 2 million pounds of ice at Gaylord Rockies. The Nightmare Before Christmas headlines Gaylord's 2026 ice lineup as one of their 3 new themes: the running of Gaylord's Rockies outside Denver from November 20th, 2026 through January 3rd of 2027. Jack's story gets told across more than 10 walkthrough scenes and hand-carved from roughly 2 million pounds of ice by 300 artisans from Harbin, China on a 40-day build clock, kept at 9 degrees. SCREAM-A-GEDDON spends $2.5 million on its Midway and opens August 29th. SCREAM-A-GEDDON opens its 12th season on Saturday, August 29th, one day after Halloween Horror Nights, and it's arriving with the largest capital project in the park history, a $2.5 million rebuild of the Midway, renamed Bonzo's Bazaar. That August 29th date is worth pausing on. Central Florida's theme park events open first every year, and independent haunts typically follow from mid-September. SCREAM-A-GEDDON is opening ahead of every other independent haunt in the country on our 2026 calendar, and ahead of 4 of 5 major Orlando Park events. Bonzo's Bazaar is a 50,000 square foot rebuild, a fully paved Midway winding past permanent covered pavilions, 4 new food trucks, fire pits with s'mores, and an upgraded beer garden pouring local wine and craft beer, plus newly paved parking lots and park roads. Reading the list, theme is dwell time. Covered pavilions, fire pits, 4 food trucks, and an expanded bar are all built to keep people on property between houses rather than moving them through a queue-to-queue circuit. ScareHouse is back for 2026. It is not building a haunted house. ScareHouse, one of the most nationally acclaimed haunted attractions in the country, is returning this October after 2 seasons dark, and it is not building a haunted house. ScareHouse and the Plaza at North Shore announced Halloween Hangout, a month-long takeover of the outdoor venue across from PNC Park in Pittsburgh running October 1st through 31st. It is a multi-year partnership with Legacy Hospitality Partners. Year 1 has no mazes and no traditional haunted attractions of any kind. The programming is movie nights running from the Rocky Horror Picture Show to Hocus Pocus to Halloween, ScareHouse Haunt Nights aimed at older audiences seeking more intense thrills, a community trick-or-treat, a charity pumpkin patch, haunted happy hours, terror tailgate parties around home football games in the North Shore, and themed food and drink from Sugarbird. Creative director Scott Simmons told HHN the omission of mazes is deliberate. Year 1 doesn't offer any traditional haunted attractions or mazes, but it will include plenty of thematic environments, original characters, and new experiences. The hope is that we can grow and expand into something increasingly elaborate in future seasons. Delusion is going back to where it started. Delusion's 2026 show, Den of the Mosquito, will run at the Beckett Mansion in West Adams, Los Angeles. That is the building where John Braver staged the first Delusion in 2011 and the Neil Patrick Harris co-production in 2012. 15 years and roughly 10 shows later, the longest-running immersive theater series in the country is going home. The play is set in 1920s New Orleans. Bloodless corpses, strange abductions, and a missing mayor prompt President Woodrow Wilson to form Anomaly, a secret organization tasked with investigating supernatural threats. Guests play Anomaly agents sent to a bayou brothel run by the Nolo Mafia to recover an ancient relic. Delusion is billing it as the company's longest and most interactive play to date, with a full 50-minute runtime, more interactivity, and split paths, extremely limited availability, and the return of the Play Your Part VIP option. Field of Horrors lost 3 haunted houses in an electrical fire. The buildings were uninsured, and the owner is rebuilding anyways. A July 20th fire destroyed 3 of the 5 haunted houses at Field of Horrors in Brunswick, New York, just north of Troy. Insanity, Return of Mummy's Curse, and The Condemned Manor all sat inside a single interconnected building roughly 150 feet long. Every July, an employee repairs wiring that mice have chewed through during the off-season. That work is underway on Monday. Owner Dave Melinio said the employee flicked on a generator and believes a spark caught the burlap inside the building. Melinio also sprays roughly $5,000 of fire retardant across the facility every year just before opening day. It had not been applied yet. The buildings were gone in about an hour. Melinio told the Times-Union that destroyed buildings were uninsured. He is rebuilding anyways, targeting a September opening with cleanup already underway and construction expected to start within 2 weeks. He plans to prioritize 2 of the 3 houses and wants to replace the old wooden walls with steel. Capital Combat Zone, the paintball and airsoft operation sharing the property, was unaffected. Freakling Brothers is taking the 2026 Halloween season off. Here's why and what returns in 2027. Freakling Brothers horror shows, the Las Vegas haunt running for more than 31 years, will not open for the 2026 Halloween season. Co-owner and creative director J.T. Moliner is stepping away to direct Skeletons, a horror thriller produced by J.J. Abrams and starring Brie Larson, and the family is pausing the entire operation rather than running it without him. Duke Moliner has a supporting role in the film, and Ginny Moliner contributes an original song. The full 3-haunt lineup returns in 2027. Gates of Hell, Nevada's only R-rated haunt, Coven of 13, and The Nest, the all-new haunt replacing the classic Castle Vampire that was originally planned for 2026. The Halloween season is almost upon us, and the haunts around the country are announcing their dates, new additions, special events, and more. To help you manage the myriad of updates, the Haunted Attraction Network has compiled comprehensive guides to the top haunts in the US and top theme park events around the world. Follow the links in our show notes and bookmark these important pages for reference, and check back often for updates as new information is released. Our guides include when do haunted houses open in 2026, the best and scariest haunted houses in America, the top haunts list, Halloween Horror Nights 2026. Dates, tickets, and lineups for every park. Disney Halloween 2026. Every park worldwide. Fright Fest 2026. The complete guide to Six Flags Halloween events at every park. Hallow Screams 2026. A complete guide to all five United Park locations. Orlando Halloween events. Every park, party, and haunt. Halloween Time at Disneyland 2026. A complete guide. Haunted Houses in California 2026. Dates, tickets, and what's new. Halloween Horror Nights 2026. Hours, costume policy, and know before you go. Haunted Houses in Texas 2026. Dates, tickets, and what's new. Halloween Horror Nights Tickets 2026. Complete guide to all Universal parks. In retail news, how much do professional haunted animatronics cost? Less than retail's $25,000 Balrog. Retail's headline animatronic this year is HalloweenCostumes.com's 13.75-foot Lord of the Rings Balrog for $24,999.99. The most expensive piece in Distortion's Unlimited entire 2026 collection is an 11-foot gorilla called Kong at $8,890, roughly a third of the price. Distortions has been building props for professional haunted houses in Greeley, Colorado for more than 45 years, and its cheapest 2026 item, Frankencat, at $289, undercuts Home Depot's $299.98 Skelly. Home Depot's viral Halloween buckets are back for 2026. Here's where to find them. Home Depot's viral $2.98 Halloween print buckets are back for 2026, and the Bucket Hunt is one of the most searched Halloween retail stores of the week. The 2-gallon orange utility bucket comes wrapped in ghosts, jack-o'-lanterns, bats, and spiders alongside the Home Depot logo, and it's an in-store only. As of this writing, does not appear anywhere on HomeDepot.com. The Halloween bucket craze has spread to Petco, and theirs started at $1.50. The Bucket Hunt is a second front. Petco is selling Halloween printed buckets in 2 sizes, and unlike the one everyone has been driving store to store for, these ship. The skeletons and ghost trick-or-treat pails are $1.50 at 7 by 9 inches, which undercuts Home Depot's $2.98 by nearly half. The bigger one is a 2-gallon lidded utility bucket and pumpkin or Frankenstein at $7, and Petco files it under fish supplies and aquarium maintenance, describing it as good for water changes to trick-or-treating. It is a water change bucket in a Halloween wrapper, the same move Home Depot made with their paint bucket. There's a Universal Monsters Lego set coming. Here's what's in it. Lego has approved the Universal Monsters set, and it comes with 6 monster minifigures: Dracula, Frankenstein's monster, the Wolfman, Bride of Frankenstein, the Invisible Man, and the Phantom of the Opera. They live in a Gothic castle, and the concept runs about 2,250 pieces. Monster High Skullector is going all in on horror. Michael Myers, Krampus, Oogie Boogie, and the Universal Monsters. Mattel used San Diego Comic-Con to reveal the biggest horror wave yet for Monster High Skullector. This premium collector doll line, the Universal Monsters trio Frankenstein, Dracula, and the Mummy, $44 each, dropped July 24th on Walmart.com with stores and international following September 1st. Michael Myers from 1981's Halloween 2, $70 Mattel Creations exclusive, August 8th. Oogie Boogie from The Nightmare Before Christmas, fall 2026. And Krampus from the 2015 legendary film, $70, available December 3rd. Monster cereals are back for 2026, and this year the box turns into a puppet. Count Chocula, Boo Berry, and Frankenberry hit shelves nationwide this month, marking the trio's 55th anniversary. General Mills is running the Jim Henson Muppet puppet designs again in an all-new box art. The new part, every box doubles as a build-your-own puppet, printed with cutout designs that turn the empty box into a monster puppet. At Home just dropped 1,000+ Halloween pieces across 5 collections. At Home launched its biggest Halloween assortment ever. More than 1,000 items across 5 collections, available now online and in all 228 stores in 39 states. The retailer claims the largest selection of Halloween decor under one roof of any brick-and-mortar retailer. The 5 lines are Western Hollow, an old Wild West ghost town, Gothic Graveyard, Black and Ruby Red Gothic Elegance with gargoyles, crows, and reapers, Grim Gardens, mossy, overgrown, bug-covered organic textures, Spellbound, Tarot and Celestial Party Serveware, and Happy Haunting, the classic orange and black item. Target's 2026 Halloween collection is quietly live on Target.com. Target's 2026 Halloween drop is live on Target.com, part of the broader Summerween wave, with 3 inflatables in the small yard and entry size, landing high on the site's Halloween module. Hide and Eek, Boutique's viral Lewis the Pumpkin Ghoul family returns for 2026, with 2 pieces in stock right now. The 8-foot flagship Lewis and his 2024 crew, including Bruce the Skeleton, Pumpkin Rocker Billy, and Pumpkin Iron Lucy, are not yet listed for 2026, and the category page says more Halloween magic is on the way. Lemax Spooky Town 2026. All 8 Michaels exclusives with prices. Lemax's Spooky Town Village has 8 Michaels exclusive pieces for 2026, all currently 20% off. The animated Sight and Sounds tier leads with DJ Decay's Roller Rink Rave for $167.99, regular $209.99. Madame Estella's Seance Services for $175.99, regular is $219.99. And the Misty Grave Mausoleum for $175.99, regularly $219.99. The Lighted Buildings or Cathedral of Eternal Doom for $59.99, the only porcelain piece. The Coffin Parlor for $71.99, Macabre Mansion for $111.99, and the Shops of Horrid Hamlet, $111.99, which is just a facade. The Broom Charging Station Table Accent is $47.99 is the entry point to this collection. Over the Wall Garden Chapter 2 figure set is up for pre-order. 3 versions are already gone. Mondo's Over the Garden Wall Chapter 2 figure set is available now, and it brings the Pottsfield Pumpkin People from Hard Times at the Husker Bee into plastic. The standard set is $120 and ships in August 2026. Before you go looking, of the 5 Over the Garden Wall figure sets Mondo has put out, 3 are already sold out, including the glow-in-the-dark Entertainment Earth exclusive that got most of the attention. Lenox Halloween Spice Village is real, $75 and currently in stock. Lenox Viral Spice Village line now has a Halloween edition. 6 hand-painted porcelain spice jars styled as haunted Victoria homes with black cats, bats, and ravens in the windows. This 6-piece set, poppy seed, sesame seed, star anise, mulling spice, cardamom, and fennel, runs $75 and is in stock at Lenox.com as of July 24th, tagged new and not eligible for discounts. Lush drops its 2026 Halloween collection early, adds 2 new products. Lush Cosmetics has released its 2026 Halloween collection earlier than ever this year for Summerween enthusiasts. The collection went live on the Lush app on July 14th, then hit stores and Lush.com on July 16th. After producing more than 3.2 million Halloween products globally in 2025, Lush is bringing back its fan-favorite bath bombs, bubble bars, and soaps alongside 2 new for 2026 shower products. The best Halloween pet costumes of 2026, every retailer's lineup. 6 retailers have their 2026 pet Halloween costumes live, and they are not competing on the same thing. Spirit Halloween is the only one stocking actual horror. Art the Clown from Terrifier, Michael Myers, Ghostface, Chucky, Pennywise, Beetlejuice, Lydia Dietz, and Sam from Trick or Treat, all at a flat $24.99 in sizes pet small through pet XXL. Spirit also carries buckle-down licensed collars and leashes at $29.99, including Friday the 13th, A Nightmare on Elm Street, and Jack Skellington, which are the pieces that survived November 1st. Working at Spirit Halloween in 2026, pay, hiring age, and how to apply. Spirit Halloween is hiring more than 52,000 seasonal workers across 1,500 stores in Canada and United States. The HHN new guide covers the worker side of the season. Sales associates start at 16, store managers must be 21 or over, assistant manager postings list 18. Everyone gets a 30% employee discount and flexible scheduling. And Spirit's postings carry dedicated premium pay programs for store setup, teardown, and end-of-season crews. Pay is set store by store rather than nationally. Recent 2026 postings run around $11.80 to $12 an hour in lower minimum wage states, with higher floors where minimum states are higher. Applications go through workforspirit.com, and that's the number 4, or by texting Reaper to 85000. California, 1,678 openings, Florida with 1,202, and Texas at 1,130 openings lead the job board. When does Spirit Halloween open in 2026? Spirit Halloween's 2026 season starts off with the Flagship grand opening on Saturday, August 1st, 2026 at 6725 Black Horse Pike in Egg Harbor Township, New Jersey. Outdoor festivities run at 8:30 a.m. to noon, with the ribbon cutting at 10 a.m. and the store open until 8 p.m. New this year, a digital registration system lets fans reserve a spot in line to be among the first inside. General Spirit Halloween pop-up stores open on a staggered schedule from mid to late August through early September. Spirit is opening 1,575 stores across the US and Canada in 2026, a record for the retailer, and is hiring 52,000 seasonal workers to run them. The online store locator populates 2026 store dates starting July 30th. In convention news, Hunters Against Hate, the event, takes place August 1st and 2nd. Get ready for the Four Horsemen of the Gaypocalypse as Hunters Against Hate, the event, returns for its fourth year on August 1st and 2nd at its new location, the Radisson Hotel in Kalamazoo, Michigan. HAH, the event, promotes the LGBTQIA+ haunt horror communities in an exclusive, accepting environment featuring 40 vendors, workshops, drag shows, celebrity guests, and an award ceremony. Exciting events throughout the weekend include a cosplay competition and the 4th annual makeup competition, where competitors must create their own version of Aunt Gladys from the hit horror film Weapons. The 2026 Hunters Against Hate Awards will be presented to Jason Olson of Chicago, Hunter of the Year, Karen Fields of Sleepaway Camp, Legacy Award, and the parents of Riley Hansen from Haunted Hills from Maryville, Indiana, the Jesse McDonald Memorial Award. There will be a pre-show haunt tour of Niles Scream Park in Niles, Michigan on Friday, July 31st, including dinner, lights on tour of the attractions, and Q&A with the Niles Scream Park management team. The Saturday night excursion, August 1st, will take guests to the Nightmare Realm in the Matawan, Michigan for a zombie survival game. Tickets are still available online starting at $30, $15 for single-day tickets, $35 for weekend tickets. Some haunts that are running scare actor editions include The Haunted Forest in Clarence, New York, August 15th and 22nd, The Hollow in Redlands, California, with ongoing editions. The Mortuary Haunted House in New Orleans, Louisiana, has got ongoing editions. Nightmare Wharf in Buffalo, New York, editions on August 15th and 16th. The Sawmill Haunted House in Covington, Louisiana, has ongoing editions, and the 13th Hour Haunted Attraction in Indianapolis, Indiana, also has ongoing auditions. Some upcoming events this July through September include Hunters Against Hate, the event in Louisville, Kentucky, August 1st and 2nd. Midsummer Scream in Long Beach, California, August 7th and 9th. And Creep It Real OC Expo in Santa Ana, California, September 11th through 13th.
And that's all for the news this week. Today's episode was produced by me, Philip Hernandez, with reporting by Daryl Plunkey, post-production by David Swope. This Haunt News Update is a production of the Haunted Attraction Network, and you can sign up to our weekly newsletter at hauntedattractionnetwork.com. Support for this episode comes from Gantom Lighting and Controls. Until next time, Haunters, stay scary.
This is a Haunted Attraction Network production.